Mm. 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 Hey, Mikle. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Mm. So this is turned into a just a interesting. Mm. Mm. Uh, this is just a doodle for what's it called? For the letters of the Vampire Queen. It's basically a mini illustration thing. Just because right now it's on Clip Studio instead of Photoshop, it doesn't have the outline and the letters aren't editable, so it's just a placeholder. Because I had to figure out a shanty for the novel. Because you gotta have a shanty on your novel. Hey, Ripuff. And in this case, it's the Song of the Three Dusk Mothers in the world of Letters to the Vampire Queen. Uh, the Dusk Mothers are three spirits that are basically there to essentially ferry the soul to the afterlife to be judged. And they are also known the mothers of the three last breaths. So one of them is each one of them takes one of your last breaths as you go through a process of dying, and each one of them has different traits. Where the first one, the spirit of the owl, is basically uh, it's a spirit of forgiveness, either you asking it or granting it with your first breath. The second breath is the spirit of acceptance, where you accept your fate and accept that you are now on the path of death. And the last one is the spirit of the bat, which is the spirit that ferries you to the judgment of the spirit of Tally and the Hollow Father. So it's a whole thing. I mean, you gotta have a shanty. Still have to edit the lyrics because there's still, some bumpy parts, but it's getting smoother and smoother, so it's gonna be nice when it's done. Then I'm gonna probably just kind of pay somebody to assemble the melody of a shanty in behind, because it's a simple melody, it's a shanty. Like none of them are very crazy in their scoring. Yeah, so I'll pay somebody to assemble a melody and just somebody to sing through it just for the fun of it when I release the book. So it's gonna be cool. Mm. No, uh, cut, edit, paste. Mm. 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 And whether or not it's all gonna be worth it, we will see. Because by the end of the year, I'm going to finish the first novel. Then I'm gonna just do a rewrite. It's gonna take a month or so, maybe two. And hopefully in April launch the crowdfunder, the Kickstarter, and then we'll see whether or not people are interested or not. If they are, well, I have 6 books planned, and then if not, well, fuck it. Sketches in the crowdfunder? No. This isn't a comic. I have no intention of doing sketches. They are going to be signed. The books are going to be signed, but that's about it. Achilles Shield Maidens? Well, Achilles Shield Maidens are currently on standby, basically, to whether after I see whether or not Death Vigil 2 gains any traction. Hey, Brittany. I am doing great. A little bit drowsy though. That's one of the reasons why today I took me so long to actually start my stream. Kind of one of those very heavy weather out there. So it's just had a massive headache earlier today. Went to take just a short break in the room just to kind of lie down, while my painkiller kicks in for it. Just completely knocked myself out and went fucking to sleep for like 8 hours. Like it was generally my time, but still, like it was very unexpected. At just how much it just dropped me. Hey, Marisa. I mean, I always work a lot. It's just this was more of a high pressure in the air this whole day. It's been a fucking mess. Mm. Very cloudy, very rainy, but also like just not raining in a way where it's like once it starts raining, like it all kind of lightens up a little. It's like no, it's just a very high barometric pressure, I guess. Mm. Do you have the piece hosted somewhere? Why are you on this canvas? Oh, you just landed there. Owls don't give a fuck. They just land anywhere. What are you talking about? None of them are French. Yes, if your piece is posted somewhere where I can see. Hey, Henke. 4 a.m. crowd, let's go. Do I have a Patreon? Oh boy, do I. I have a massive one. It's just, there's so much stuff there. You can also whisper me on Twitch, because I see you're on Twitch as well. I had somebody whisper me to take a look at their work recently, so I know that works. Because Nightbot just on general blocks links, but you can definitely send me a whisper. Yeah, sure, or that. God, I love bat noses. They're so weird. I think that's one of the biggest things that annoyed me about Morbius. They were so fucking afraid to give him a cool bat nose. Yeah, I actually enjoyed Morbius overall. It was a fun, silly movie. Had Matt Smith not just chewing upon on that scenery, was going full T-Rex on a goat leg with that scenery. It was amazing. Seeing him as a villain was just delightful. I am a connoisseur of movies that aren't perhaps good, but entertaining for sure. Listen, a bat's nose is like a pig's nose if H.R. Geiger freaking designed it. Okay, like that's a weird, layered, complex language of shapes. Whisper isn't letting you upload. No, I don't. I meant like to have it uploaded somewhere where you can, just post a link to it. That's what I mean. So you can, I don't know. Shit, you can't really upload. Hmm. Now even I'm stumped because back in the day my answer would be like just like I don't know, upload it on DeviantArt as a private thing and then just send that link. But then I'm like, shit, DeviantArt sucks now. Yeah, but it's still not gonna do anything to it. The problem isn't that. The problem is like they don't know where to like attach the image. Okay, let's see. So you're having trouble with the background. The idea looks open. Sure. I still don't know. Did you send it somewhere? Oh, never mind. Okay, I see. It didn't show it on the thing. Uh, what's the background on the reference image? Yeah. Oh, okay. References, yeah, references are your friend. You definitely wanna use them for everything and anything, especially while you're still trying to master your craft. The background. So here's the thing. Let me just. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This one. Copy image. Okay. Let's see. So I'm just gonna show you some things in Photoshop real quick, because in Photoshop I know how to work these. Edit paste. So. But this okay. So let's crop it. So you have multiple choices here, right? Depending on like whether or not the character here is also based on a reference. I'm guessing it is, but I'm not sure. Um, but one of the things you can do is where's the thing? But I put this, and I need this. First things always to decide with the background is just kind of the chromatic value that you want from it, like how much, how light do you need this thing to be, you know? Because let's say image adjustment, hue, saturation, lightness. Okay. What you can do is you can play around with lightness and saturation, so that you get a degree of lightness and saturation that are going to make the character pop. Now, another thing that you can do is you can consider the fact that his t-shirt here is blue, so you can always just kind of do a thing where you can do some color theory in that case, where you can let me just remove the blue stuff here. Let's say we want the shadow to be blue, right? But we want the background here to be image adjustment, hue, saturation. We want this thing to go more towards orange, because blue and orange are complementary to each other. Now, uh, again, you want to consider the tones in the hue saturation, because you don't want it to also blend overly with the skin. So you can do stuff like that, right? So you can do that, or let's say step backward, step backward. Another thing to consider. Now, what is the idea of the background here? You know, is it gonna be? Let me just do a quick. Is it gonna be, you know, a chair here or something like that? Maybe you're showing the floorboards or something. There's like a what's it called? Like a cupboard behind or something like that. You know, maybe some things on the floor, blah blah blah. You know, maybe maybe you're deciding, right, this is the area of light in the room. This is the area of shadow. Okay, is the light coming from this side, or is the light coming from this side or this side? Those are our choices at this point, because like if it's coming from this side, then it's the light that's gonna kind of fall, let's say, through a window or through a door. That thing is gonna then affect the character as well. Then you start building with light and shadow. That's when your background becomes a narrative element for everything else. So you can do a multiply. Then all of a sudden, your character is gonna have a shadow cast. And it's gonna be like this hand is gonna be shaded here. It's gonna also cast probably some shadow on the face here. Should have done that as a layer. Better step backward. Layer, new layer, multiply, normal. Because with this you can now build. You're building the kind of a consistency of the image. Because if you have a clear idea of your background's illumination, that illumination affects your character as well. And when it does, all of a sudden it affects every element on the picture. You can have light blooms and stuff like that happening. Then you can have a hard light. You can do a thing where it's just kind of more bright from this side. You can then do those crazy things where it's like, when you get to the silly little details where you can do like little, dust mites and stuff like that in the air, just give it a bit of an atmosphere. Like there's a lot of stuff that you can pull off with this, but like it very much comes down to what's the environment, what's the point of that background, because at the end of the day you could draw every detail on that background, but still in the end decide that, what, it's detracting from your character. But that's fine, that's a good thing. Here's what you do then: filter, blue, lens blur. You give it a bit of a cinematic lens blur, separate it, give it kind of a, make the character pop with its sharpness. So it's like there's a lot of approaches and a lot of mental mathematics behind making a background work. So, it's very hard for me to tell you what you should do. At most, I can show you different options of what you can do. I couldn't tell it's a beach because, well, there's a table there, there's a meal. Can be inside of a house. It can be a beach, but like yeah, still it's the same logic, right? It's not tiled floor. It's sand. Okay, cool. There's a shadow cast. Put some beach paraphernalia in the background, something that tells you that it's a beach. That's a background is also on its own a narrative element. The logic still remains the same, you see. So like, at that point you're dealing with, the yellowness of the sand, which is going to be very nice because fun part with sand is very bright, tends to be very reflective, and casts counter illumination on a character. So, let's say, you have a character that's like, it's actually very, very cool on people with darker skin, black people, amazing. Here's what happens, right? Layer, your raster layer. Let's go. What are you doing? Right. Okay. I need this. Let's take your character there that you've drawn, right? Okay. So we take some quick base color. So here's what happens, right? So you have a character, you have sand underneath. Now, what happens when light hits that sand? It brightens it up. So let's say light is coming from this direction, right? It's gonna hit your character in a very direct way, where it's gonna be from this side. You're gonna have really strong highlights that are going to glare out very often. They're gonna have very high peaks at times. It's gonna go really fucking light at times. And then on the bending points between light and shadow, there's gonna get a bit reddish because that's where subsurface scattering happens because there's blood under the skin, right? Secondary element is going to be the fact that on that character, because they're outside, sky is gonna be above. So there's going to be a bit of a bluish illumination. Again, this is one of the reasons why I actually adore rendering black skin. It's very receptive to these kinds of secondary illuminations. It's beautiful. And then you get the tertiary illumination, which is not going to be as bright as this. So let's say, this one's somewhere around here, and you're looking for something that's going to be more to the reddish side, and it's going to be deeper. And that's going to be light bouncing back from the sand and hitting every area that's looking downwards. But like downwards in this kind of like all around effect. So you get you get some of the under the eyes also is gonna get hit depending on the angle. Some of the ear here, Meanwhile, ear here is gonna get fucking bombarded with the bright and it's gonna get like really red. Yeah, then you got your hair. So take that in mind. So this is what I mean when I say your background is a narrative element. It helps you build the lights. It helps you build the illumination. It helps you build the mood of the piece. So when you're rendering, that's what you gotta keep in mind. Also, look for some photos of, like, if you don't have a good reference photo that shows you this, look for some photos of people like on a beach. In this case, people with like black skin. It's gonna do wonders for you. All right. Bye-bye. Yeah, you can change the color of the shirt. You can also give the shirt patterning. You can make a painting or something on the shirt. It gives it a bit of a more lively feeling overall. It lightens the mood of the character as well. So you got a lot of stuff there. And also, I couldn't tell it's a beach because it's a very low resolution piece as well. I could barely figure out what the loose sketching in the behind was. So, and trust me, don't take that personally. I'm the same with my sketches. People are like, "What the fuck am I looking at?" I'm like, "Trust me, it makes sense to me." Artist's brain is a weird thing. Yeah, it gets, trust me, it gets easier over time. You get better at it. You comprehend it more and more. This is the kind of knowledge that doesn't just all come at once. It's a thing that it's a comprehension that kind of builds the more you do it, the more you learn a thing, then you start noticing that thing you've learned in practice. You start noticing it on people, and all of a sudden you're like, oh right, it's the thing that I learned. Okay, that's how it looks from this angle. That's how it looks with this color. The knowledge compiles, and over time you find yourself being able to do it without reference, with pure instinct, because you've understood it. But until then, and even past then, use your references. Mm. Uh, there's no. So here's the thing: the image is close enough for it to just kind of be pretty much irrelevant what you do with that background part. In fact, the way the image is composited is actually kind of begging for doing sort of a blur on the background, just because it's a very kind of a tightly focused piece. So I wouldn't worry too much. Take what you can from learning how to draw that background by using references and copying from a reference, learning from a reference. Uh, but like, don't get too invested into it, because with that kind of a composition on a piece, like, I would honestly suggest like doing a sort of a blur on like a lot of it. Maybe not the stuff that's closest to the character. What I would suggest, right, if you want to reach get like a transitional blur, you can always do like a, let's say you do layer, duplicate layer, right? Let's say I do this filter blur Gaussian blur, right? And like I make this blurry, right? But the thing is, like, I don't want all of it blurry. I want it to look like, distant parts are blurrier and frontal parts are, less blurry. It's where you take your eraser, and you just go to town and just kind of lighten up on the parts you don't want to be as blurry, while keeping a soft edge to it, and that's how you do a nice little transition for yourself, where you can, but again, I still recommend you paint the background detailed enough to the point where blur is going to look realistic. And also, like I said, I would highly recommend you playing with some sort of a pattern for the shirt, some sort of like a print or something that's rich in colors. That's kind of like, has different colors, just to kind of make the whole picture seems very fun. You know what I mean? Like, it has like a fun composition, it has a fun mood to it. If you add that, it's gonna give it just that kind of like a final oomph. Especially usually, and also it's gonna look even more natural, because usually most of these kind of summer type shirts have something on them, so it kind of brain expects to see something. What's my favorite potato dish? Nothing. I'm not a cannibal. On both of those, Croatian. Best sunlight and best water. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, Croatian water is just ridiculous. This is why I have a problem going anywhere and just drinking water. I'm just like, ugh. I have become the water snob. What makes you keep, what helps me keep so consistent with drawing? You have a cooldown after drawing for like a week or more? Um, Simple. I really, really, really love drawing. I love storytelling, and I know that if I don't do it, it's not gonna get done. I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like, some people like a thing, some people love a thing, some people obsess a thing, and then there are those people whose lives get devoured by a thing. I would be somewhere in the category of that number four. Now, it's not something that you start off like, but, it's like when you start a video game and it's an MMO and you're like, I'm gonna start it because a few of my friends are playing it. Your friends stop somewhere in midpoint, but you're like, no, I'm just gonna keep going. Yeah, it's gonna become a hardcore raider. Oh, hey, I'm soloing raids now. Hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm fucking obsessing about it every waking hour, doing charts on DPS meters and optimal tanking strategies and this and that and the other. Oh my god, it's now destroyed my life. So that, sometimes you just do that. Again, it's not a matter of whether or not you want to be that obsessed, it's whether or not you get to be that obsessed, as in whether or not it grabs you enough. It's simple as that. Like, I wasn't always this obsessed, then I grew into it. Nowadays, I can't wait to wake up, to draw, to write, to make stories, to create. It's beyond an obsession at this point. It's borderline unhealthy, but it is what it is. No, I'm a dude. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, anything that you like can be a sporadic enjoyment, or it can be an absolute life-destroying addiction, including art. So, it is what it is. All right, let's see. Uh, can do it like this. Gotta do some rewrites on the song here. It's gonna be later today, though. Okay. Now back to the old grind and carry on with the shading. You're working on to get your art to do a vicious thing that will destroy your life. Any tips? First and most important one: always, whenever possible, whenever even the slightest opportunity allows you to do the things you love doing. Not the things that you think they're gonna be popular, they're gonna get you views. Start with yourself. You gotta love this shit first. So indulge yourself, hyper indulge. Get that connection between you and art that's going to motivate you to go to the stuff that you don't necessarily want to do. Because that's massive. You know, when I was younger and I was going to school and the teacher told us perspective is super important. So we're going to have you draw chairs for a whole year. And most people kind of quit very fast. You know, but when you sneak every moment that you can fucking to draw whatever the fuck you were into. In my case at the time it was dinosaurs. You know, you develop love for it. You develop an actual passion for creating stuff. And that passion is gonna get you through the grindy stuff because to be good at anything you gotta go through the grind of, you know, increasing your skill level at the end of the day. But it helps if you're grinding in order to make something that you love. Now, the fun part when doing something which you love is there's a lot of people who probably like the same stuff. So that's a massive benefit that sooner or later you're going to actually find an audience with that. So, yeah, that's the biggest one. Everything else is just kind of personal, small motivations and the excuse. One of the big ones for me was I, at some point, was working multiple jobs, each and every one of them that I hated, that had nothing to do with art and was draining my soul. So anytime I don't really feel like drawing or creating, I remember those jobs and I'm like, you know what? I feel like drawing now. Yeah, I've been writing bestsellers for over a decade now. I, I'm I'm a wee bit experienced. It's been a wild last about 14 years of my life ever since I started publishing Sunstone. From there on, I started building a bunch of my own projects, and they were most of them big successes. So at this point, I am cruising. Mm. Mm. Wait, what? Oh. Where is it? This one, this one, this one. Where is the multiply layer there? Oh, now I need this opacity. This. Well, if you're trying to do posters or covers, that means you're trying to be an illustrator. So bury yourself in references, first of all. Like, yeah, I can't stress that enough. Like, your life will be gathering references. Like, if you want to be good at that and make that your line of work, yeah, as well. So, yeah, good luck. Just saying that because I can't do that job. Like, I can illustrate my own stuff, but mm, yeah, like all of this stuff is just a skill set. You give it enough time and you'll figure it out. You'll learn it. You'll crack the code. In fact, very soon you end up having the most standard problem of every artist is, you know, You get good at it, and then you look at your old work and you're like, oh, motherfucker. Everything I did was shit. And the worst part is like, you got nobody to blame. It was quite literally a skill issue. Yeah, I know. There's always going to be a few of those older pieces that you still love. The rest, though, are going to be consigned to the drawers of time. They're going to be better hidden than the body of Jimmy Hoffa. You are gonna be fucking stashing that shit forever and ever and just be like, no, I don't really have any old pieces. I've thrown them away. Or you're just gonna throw them away. That's also an option. I have thrown literal containers full of my works. Like there's more my artwork on a landfill than 5 buildings worth of trash. Okay, like I have committed a genocide of trees. I'm not gonna lie. Do I have a Twitch? Yes, I do. With me, it wasn't really so much of an option of, oh, you can't throw those away. You're gonna want to see them one day. No, it was literally like I have drawn thousands upon thousands upon thousands of fucking drawings up until college alone. Like at some point, I got very, very, very obsessive. Okay, it kind of helped that two of my best friends were both way better at art than I was, and I took that personally. Are they still doing art? One of them is, that's for sure. Also, why did that message not load on this? Twitch is glitching out. Great. Yep, same as for one of my two friends at the time. Gave it all up in the end, which was weird. He was vastly better than all of us. Like, and it's one of those things, I guess, when you're a so-called talented kid at school, you get all the praise and all the attention, and over time you kind of just, you know, I don't know, cruise on it, I guess, until others just kind of start running circles around you, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? I don't know. It's a shame. He really was skilled at the time. But the other guy, he became a paleo artist. Then later on, also started doing stuff for like I I know he did work on what's it called, on Good Omens, the show. He did the work on the like designing the devil for that show, I think. But his big thing has always been dinosaurs. Like he's massive on that. That's his jam. I used to be that too. It's just that over time, comics kind of devoured that. We all develop our own little passions. Dinos are cool. Mm. Mm. Is that why I like mechas? No, I like mechas because I also like mechas, It's been a thing since I was a kid. Loved Voltron, I loved Transformers. What was it? Another one. At the time, Robotech was a thing. Never really got to see a lot of it. I saw one video cassette at the time, and even that was enough for me to go like, ooh. I could always sneak one or two here and there. Yeah, I was actually really itching to, but like I have to actually control myself with that because I have a bad habit of being like a cat with a laser pointer. But I was actually considering doing some dinosaur sculpts for 3D printing because it's one of those rare things where you can sculpt them and like you very much can't sell those because it's a dinosaur. Nobody owns those. I don't know. Might end up even doing it at some point. Well, I'm guessing the ones from specific iterations from like you know shows and movies. Those definitely do. Like I can't just make a Jurassic Park T-Rex and expect I'm gonna sell that and it's always gonna be all right because well have I ever drawn on an iPad? I don't think I don't. I did like for 5 seconds. Yeah, I remember now. Uh, it's not really my thing. I need actual power when I'm drawing. iPad is cool and all that, but that's like there are limitations. mean, if it's Death Vigil, then it's not a T-Rex, then it's an Allosaurus. Because that's what Hugin is. But, just by the fact that it was Death Vigil merged, that means it wouldn't sell for shit. But did you the pattern in the background? I drew a brush. It's actually a very, very old brush that I did back for Witchblade times. Don't really get a lot of uses out of it, but it's nice when I get an excuse to use it. It's this one. Where was it? It's gonna be somewhere around here among the earlier brushes. Yeah, here it is. This is the thing. Oh, shit. Ah. So. Thanks, Ed. Exactly. I've seen those stupid videos. Also with the cables. So dad's stashing all the cables. It's like, I need a specific cable. Dad's like, my time is now. I see it, Tichi. Truth hurts, doesn't it? But also with artists, that's usually that one reference that you took years and years ago, and you're like, there's gonna come a moment. Then one day the moment comes, you're just like, the smuggest bastard in the universe, just walking around, just flexing, just like looking everybody like they were lower creatures. Like you all doubted me. They're like, dude, we didn't even know what you were doing. What are you on about? Psst. Hmm. 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 It's so funny that these days I'm pre- basically most known for my freaking romance work. When my when the start of my professional career was me drawing just a bunch of Warhammer cards. Fucking surreal. Hey, Jim Muriel. Yeah, I'm doing great. Aurora and Chappelle Roan. I don't know who Aurora is. I know that Chappelle is the one that did the whole thing with the armor and the castle on fire. I'm completely out of touch with everything. No, not really. Generally, I just kind of like I used to like that when I was, in my earlier stages of work. Nowadays, I'm just kind of like, I know that I can make it look good. Sometimes it's super easy, sometimes it's not. But like, I know that if I work through it, I'll figure it out. So at this point, I'm kind of jaded by it. I used to though, yeah. Thank you, Anton. Hey, Pepper. Yep, yep. Is this the next page? One of many. I'm working on entire batch of next pages. Okay, now where's the other one? I need this. Okay. And no, this, and I need to pull this to this one to front. File save. Okay, this. Thanks, Scarlett. Mm, 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 mm. 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 Okay. All right, time for a break.